Okay, so this is for the 1.2 homework on page 15. I'm going to start with number 9. Find the measure of the angles formed, and I'm just going to do C to let you guys practice. If you need another video for D, please let me know. So the hands are at 7:20. So we're going to draw a nice circle. We have 12, 3, 6, 9, 1, 2. So I don't know about you guys, but this is easiest for me to draw my clock times. And the time is at 7:20. So I always draw my minute hand first at the 20. Okay, so it's exactly on the 20. But the hour hand isn't on the 7. It's not like this. It's not exactly on the 7. It's about 20 minutes up. Okay, it doesn't go halfway up. That would be 30 minutes up. It's about 20 minutes up. So I'm going to draw it right about there. The next thing I like to do is split these into my 30-degree segments. Okay, so this represents 30 degrees. We have my next chunk at 30 degrees and this chunk at 30 degrees. So we know that with these three pieces, these three blue pieces, 1, 2, 3, that that's 90 degrees. But this orange piece isn't a full 30 degrees. So you can see in between those black lines that that would represent 30 degrees. But we know that this actually traveled only 20 out of the 60 minutes. So from 7 o'clock to 8 o'clock represents 60 minutes. And that hand is only moving 20 out of the 60 minutes, or 1/3 of those 30 degrees. So it's going an extra 10 degrees right here, which means I would add up 30, 30, 30, and 10 to give you 100 degrees for that clock hand. Another thing to remember is that each 1 minute is representing half of a degree. Okay, you can also look at it that way. So each 1 minute is a half of a degree. So we know that this little orange section that I'm looking at over here, that I'm pointing at, that you guys can't see, but that orange section represents the hour hand moving. Remember, it's at 7:20, so it moved 20 minutes. And if you take a look at this, 20 minutes is then going to be 10 degrees. And so again, that's just another way of taking a look that this is going to represent 10 degrees. The next problem I'm going to do is 14. So 14 gives you some information here. The first thing it tells you is that XS, so from X to S, is congruent to YT. I'm going to use two different colors. So those are congruent. My motto for Miss Chang, again, do what you can because you can. So I'm looking at XS, I'm looking at YT. I know that they are congruent, which means that XS is equal to YT. Okay, those are equal to each other. Therefore, 3M plus 7, which is XS, that's my blue part, is equal to YT, which is 4.2M plus 5. You can go through and solve this. So I subtracted 3M from both sides and subtract 5 from both sides and divide by 1.2. So 20 divided by 12, let's see, 10, 6, 5/3. Okay, so once we have our M value, we're going to take a look at the other information. It's telling me that YS is equal to XT. So again, congruent, I should say, those two segments are congruent. So if those two segments, and if you take a look at them, XT right here, and I'll put my tick marks in, is congruent to YS. So I'm going to set 2R plus 5 equal to 3.5R plus 2. Again, we're going to move this over, so we're going to subtract 2R. 1.5R is equal to, subtract 2, 3, divide by 1.5, and you should have R is equal to 2. And the last problem is 21 that I was asked for. So it says that angle TRS is a straight angle, and so what that means is this angle is 180 degrees. So remember, an angle is that movement. So how I get from, that ray across to the other ray is 180 degrees. The next thing they tell me is angle TRX. TRX, that pink angle is a right angle. So I'm going to put that little box in there, so that's 90 degrees. If the left side's 90, the right side has to be 90. Okay, because they add up to 180. Then they tell me that TRS is 2x plus 5. So I think most of you guys went ahead and said 2x plus 5y has to equal 180. And then they also tell me that XRS is 3x plus 3y. So 3x plus 3y, and that has to equal 90. So we already said both sides are equal to 90. And we have ourselves a little system. So I always use substitution. I don't know why. It's up to you guys. I would divide everything by 3 personally and say that x plus y is equal to 30. And then, I don't know, maybe subtract the x over or subtract the y over. Subtract y. How's that? So that you have x and then substitute it back in. That's where my brain goes. This is set up really nice for elimination as well. So I think most of us are probably comfortable using elimination. And I'm assuming most of you guys got rid of the x's. I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong. But let's go ahead and multiply by negative 3 on the top and 2 at the bottom. I'm just trying to think where your brains are going. So this is a negative 6x minus 15y equals negative 540. And we have a 6x plus 6y equals 180. Okay, we did this again to eliminate. So the way I was talking about in the beginning was substitution, where you get a variable by itself. This is elimination. So negative 9y is equal to negative 360. Therefore, y is 40. Once you know what y is, you can take it and you can plug it back in. It looks like it's easy to plug in right here. So if y is 40, this is going to be 2x plus 200, 5 times 40 right here, is equal to 180. So x would have to be negative 10. Okay.